Hi guys, you're on VM24.com and today we will disassemble the smartphone Xiaomi 12 Lite. At the very beginning, we need to remove the card tray. It is located at the bottom. Please note that beside the card tray there is a microphone hole. And using a special tool, we push out the tray for 2 SIM cards. After that, we need to heat the surface of the back cover to a temperature about 65–70 Celsius degree or 160 degree Fahrenheit. For this, we use a heating mat. You can use a hair dryer. And after 5 or 7 minutes, we can proceed to the assembly. The back cover is slightly recessed, so we will use a thin metal tool to lift the one edge. We pry up the cover so that we can slip the plastic film through. And then we start working with a plastic film to detach the back cover. We have to be careful around the camera's area so that we don't damage the lenses. And we open the back cover. We only have a gasket on the cover. Okay, and we move on to unscrewing the screws. We use a Phillips 1.5mm or H3O screwdriver. The screws are all the same, but we still recommend placing them on a special surface and easy to remember order for assembly. Then we check if there is access to disconnect the connectors without removing the cover. And next we pry by the edge with a non-metal tool and detach the cover with the antennas. After that, we disconnect the 2 battery connectors and the interboard cable connector, also with a non-metal tool. And we move on to unscrewing the screws at the bottom. The screwdriver is the same, 1.5mm Phillips screwdriver. We unscrew the screws and place them on a special surface. The screws are well magnetic, so it is not difficult to unscrew them all. After unscrewing the screws, we proceed to detach the cover. Carefully hook the cover by the edge and lift it. In this place there is an intricate arrangement of connectors and coaxial cable. So we need to first disconnect the connector of the small board, then turn the board over and disconnect the connector of the coaxial cable and detach the cable itself, which is fixed on the small board. And we can remove the small board, which is mostly likely responsible for the 5G antenna. After that, we can pull out the cable, disconnect the connector on the motherboard and remove the cover with a speaker and coaxial cable. Then we can disconnect the connector and remove the interboard cable with a SIM card's connector. We can disconnect the fingerprint sensor connector and we can remove the subboard. The subboard is well recessed into the frame and secure. We need to carefully lift it up and pull it out. We have to be careful and take our time so as not to damage the fingerprint sensor. We take out the subboard and turn it over. As we can see on the inside, we have a coaxial cable connected. We need to disconnect the connector of the coaxial cable and detach the cable itself, which is fixed on the subboard. On the subboard we have the charging port, and on the back side we have the microphone and charging port. And in the display frame we are left with a fingerprint sensor and vibration motor. After that, we move on to detaching the cameras. We start with the front camera, carefully pry up the edge and remove the camera with a copper thermal conductive foil. After that, we detach the rear cameras. It is better to hold the cameras so that they don't fly out and don't damage the lenses. We can disconnect the display connector and coaxial cable connector. Now we need to find the right place to hook the motherboard and lift it up and remove it. The motherboard is lightly held in place with a thermal paste on the inside. And finally, we move on to detaching the battery. We need to unwrap the brown tabs with the letters A and B and read on the tabs which one we need to pull. And as it becomes clear from the description, we need to pull the white tab A. With one hand we hold the display frame and with the other hand we gently pull upwards, detaching the battery. As we can see, the battery is also held on the transparent protective coating that protects the display frame. Okay, this is the end of our disassembly. Thank you for watching and see you around or in the next video. Okay guys, now we're done. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel or read our articles on our website. Take care of yourself and until next video.